You probably have a pack of gum in your car, right? Or maybe, even found a piece stuck to your shoe sometime.
Happens to the best of us.
Right. But have you ever, stopped to think about the huge global business behind that little stick?
Probably not something most people consider day to day.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into something that seems super simple, but it actually fuels this massive multi-billion-dollar industry. We're talking about the global gums, chewing gum, and bubble gum market.
Hmm.
We're basically pulling back the curtain here using a really comprehensive market report from Cognitive Market Research. Gives us a proper global view.
Yeah, and our mission today, it's not just about throwing big numbers at you, though the numbers are impressive.
Oh, they are.
It's more about understanding the maybe surprising reasons why this market is booming. What trends are actually driving it? What does it tell us about consumers worldwide?
Yeah, what's the story behind the stats?
Exactly. You'll see how something so common is, well, actually a pretty sophisticated global player now.
I have to say, I was genuinely surprised reading through this report, and I think you might be too, as we kind of uncover how significant chewing gum really is on the global stage. It's unexpected.
Definitely.
So let's start with maybe why you'd reach for gum. We often think, okay, taste, fresh breath, simple enough.
That's the classic reason, yeah.
But this report, it points to so many other motivations. We're talking functional benefits, things like stress relief, maybe helping curb your appetite, and even real oral hygiene advantages.
It's moving beyond just confectionery.
Totally.
Yeah.
Did you even realize your gum habit might actually be like a stealth wellness routine?
That's a good way to put it. And it really gets to the core of how the market's changing.
How so?
Well, the report shows these functional benefits are driving a huge amount of innovation. You still got your sugar-based and sugar-free, of course.
The basics.
Right. But now we're seeing totally new flavors, really clever packaging, and, crucially, the addition of specific functional ingredients.
Like what kind of ingredients?
Oh, things like added vitamins, maybe caffeine for a little boost, or even stuff like L-theanine, which is known for its calming effects.
Wow, okay. So gum with extras.
Exactly. And these are designed very specifically to attract health-conscious consumers. It plugs right into those bigger trends we see everywhere: convenience, wellness, integrated into daily life.
Huh. So it's not just a treat anymore. For some people, it's like a tool.
It's becoming that, yeah. A
Right.
functional tool.
And when you think about it that way, the economic scale makes a bit more sense, though the figures are still pretty staggering.
They really are.
Get this. The market pulled in nearly $28 billion. That's $27,999.1 million to be precise, in sales revenue back in 2021.
Almost $28 billion for gum.
Right. And it doesn't stop there. This report projects that figure jumping to over $33 billion, $33,039.3 million by 2025.
Wow.
And then surging even further to an incredible $46 billion, $46,005.1 million by 2033.
That's quite a trajectory.
It really is. That's steady, significant growth. It's chugging along at a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of over 4%, 4.225% to be exact, from 2021 all the way to 2033.
Yeah, and what's fascinating there is how these little choices we make, grabbing a pack of gum at the checkout.
Yeah, seems so minor.
Right. But they add up to this huge global economy. The report highlights a few key drivers behind this growth.
Like what?
Well, there's a big increase in demand coming from developing countries. As disposable incomes rise, things like gum become more accessible, more of an everyday item.
Makes sense.
Then there's the simple expansion of retail, better distribution. It's just easier to buy gum everywhere now.
Impulse buy central.
Pretty much. And a
Yeah.
really key factor is its growing popularity with younger people. They seem to embrace both the sort of traditional fun of gum and these newer functional aspects we talked about.
Interesting. So it's hitting multiple demographics.
Exactly. It's not just one thing driving it. It's this combination. It really feels like a global shift in consumer habits.
Okay, so with these massive global numbers, I'm really curious to see where all this gum is actually being chewed. Let's break down the regions, because the numbers here tell a really interesting story about, who's chewing what where.
Yeah, the regional breakdown is quite revealing.
So leading the pack apparently is Asia Pacific. This region was the biggest market in 2021, over $9.5 billion.
9,519.68 million, yeah. A
Yeah.
huge chunk.
And it's projected to grow to an absolute massive $16.6 billion 16,676.9 million by 2033. That's almost doubling in, what, 12 years?
It's incredible growth. And within Asia Pacific, China is a powerhouse, over
Right.
$3.2 billion in 2021.
3,236.69 million. Wow.
And projected to hit nearly $5.5 billion, $5,486.69 million by 2033. Japan's also very significant, over $1.6 billion, $1,651.67 million in 2021.
Okay.
But here's where the growth is really explosive. India.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was $1.4 billion, $1,404.15 million in 2021, but it's projected to more than double to over $3 billion, $3,043.53 million by 2033.
Doubling. Why such fast growth there?
Well, it often tracks with things like urbanization, more people in cities, faster lifestyles. Maybe gum becomes that quick, convenient breath freshener or stress reliever on the go. Plus, rising incomes again.
Makes sense.
And you also see strong numbers from South Korea, Australia, and really rapidly growing markets across Southeast Asia and Taiwan, too. It's a very dynamic region for gum.
Okay, fascinating. Let's move west then. North America. Holding strong as the second largest market, right?
That's right. Valued at over $7.8 billion. $7,811.74 million in 2021.
And projected to reach over $12 billion.
Mm-hmm.
$12,135.4 million by 2033. Still solid growth.
Absolutely. And no surprise, the United States just dominates the North American market, almost $6.5 billion, $6,491.56 million in 2021.
Wow.
Projected to hit nearly $10 billion, $9,801.3 million by 2033. After the U.S., Canada is a strong number, too. Over $920 million, $921.785 million in 21, going to almost $1.8 billion, $1,785.37 million.
Okay.
And Mexico adds a solid piece, too, growing from around $400 million, $398.399 million, to over $550 million, $558.686 million.
So it really shows these, established markets are still growing steadily. It's not just the emerging economy.
Exactly. Mature, but still expanding.
All right, let's cross the pond to Europe. Their market stood at nearly $6.8 billion, $6,775.77 million in 2021, and anticipated to reach over $10 billion, $10,397.2 million by 2033.
So who are the big players there?
Well, Germany leads the way, over $1.1 billion, $11,178.98 million in 2021, growing towards $1.8 billion, $1,767.52 million. France is right up there, too, just over $1 billion. $1,009.59 million, heading towards $1.6 billion, $1,580.37 million.
Okay. And the UK?
The UK, nearly $890 million, $887.626 million in 21, projected to hit over $1.2 billion, $1,247.66 million by 2033. You also see a really notable growth and significant contributions from places like Italy, Russia, and Spain.
All right.
And the report also mentions the steady presence of markets like Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Kind of what you'd expect in developed European economies.
Got it. Okay, shifting south now. South America. Their market was almost $2 billion, with $1,959.94 million in 2021. Yeah, with a projection to reach over $3.3 billion, $3,376.78 million by 2033.
And who's leading there?
Brazil. Definitely Brazil.
Oh,
over $1 billion, $1,011.33 million in 2021 alone.
Wow, big market.
Projected to hit over $1.7 billion, $1,725.53 million. Then you have Argentina, around $385 million, $384.147 million, growing to over $700 million, $705.747 million. And Colombia, over $240 million, $243.032 million, projected to grow to nearly $450 million, $449.111 million.
So similar drivers there? Urbanization, maybe? More product variety?
Yeah, it seems to be a mix of that traditional consumption pattern plus increasing access to, all the different types of gum now available globally.
Right. Okay, let's hop over to the Middle East. Market reached over $1.1 billion, $2,024.23 million by 2033.
Key countries.
Saudi Arabia is the largest market there, over $410 million, $413.266 million in 2021, growing towards $720 million, $718.6 million.
Then.
Turkey's next, over $270 million, $273.215 million, projected to reach over $470 million, $476.503 million.
And the UAE saw over $200 million, $208.929 million in 21, anticipated to hit over $410 million, $410.918 million by 2033. Egypt and Qatar are also mentioned as significant players.
So again, growth reflecting changing consumer tastes and probably rising spending power.
Seems likely, yeah. That discretionary spending is key.
And finally, Africa. The market there recorded almost $784 million, $783.974 million in 2021.
Projected to grow to nearly $1.4 billion, $1,384.76 million by 2033.
Which countries are driving that?
Nigeria is a key driver, over $338 million, $338.9 million in 21, growing to over $540 million, $540.054 million. And South Africa is right there too, increasing from over $253.654 million in 2021 to over $535 million, $535.485 million by 2033.
Interesting, almost catching up to Nigeria in the projections.
Yeah, both showing strong potential. And what this whole regional picture really shows us, I think, is how the global growth is this powerful mix. You've got the steady, consistent presence in mature markets, North America, Europe.
Well, the foundation.
Exactly. But then you layer on this incredibly strong, sometimes, like you said, explosive growth in emerging economies across Asia Pacific, South America, the Middle East, Africa.
It's everywhere.
Pretty much. This widespread growth just highlights gum's, I guess, universal appeal and its evolving role in people's lives now.
So, okay, let's try and wrap our heads around this. What does it all mean? We started with, a childhood treat.
Right, bubblegum days.
Yeah. And now we're talking about a tool for stress relief, oral hygiene. Chewing gum's journey, it's been pretty fascinating, hasn't it?
It really has.
This deep dive, it really shows how something so simple like gum can actually be a powerful indicator. It reflects global economic trends, shifting consumer habits, constant innovation. It's quite a revelation, isn't it? How something so seemingly small has such a huge economic footprint.
It really is. And it kind of reinforces that idea that, knowledge is great, but it's most valuable when you understand it, apply it, see the connections. I mean, who knew a stick of gum could tell us so much about global markets and even like consumer psychology? It's a pretty compelling example of how, if you look closely, you can find really surprising depth and insight in the most everyday things.
Yeah, absolutely. So thinking about that, considering all these different reasons people chew gum now, and just the massive scale of this market we've been talking about, what other, seemingly simple daily habits might be secretly fueling these multi-billion-dollar industries we rarely even think about?
That's a great question to ponder. Makes you look at everything a bit differently, doesn't it?
It really does. Sometimes there are products that are just, they're so much a part of our daily lives, right? So simple, seemingly, that we never really stop to think about the forces shaping them.
Yeah, you just take them for granted.
Exactly. And then you take a closer look and realize there's this profound transformation happening right under our noses.
Ah, good one.
And today, we're doing just that with something as, unassuming as a stick of gum.
It seems so basic, doesn't it?
Totally. But it's really not just about fresh breath anymore. Or blowing bubbles. It's a whole new world.
That's so true. Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive into, the surprisingly dynamic world of gums, chewing gum, and bubble gum.
It's a bigger market than you'd think.
Way bigger. And like you said, it's not just about what you chew. This is really a fascinating story about health trends, about marketing, sustainability, too, and even big shifts in how we shop.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive, then, is to really unpack those key forces, the things really shaping this market. We're going to dig into our sources, pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, it's key takeaway.
To show you how this simple little product is actually undergoing this huge, often surprising evolution. So where do we start? What's driving all this change?
Well, I think the big picture is that the market's moving beyond its, traditional roles, freshening breath, a quick sugar hit, that kind of thing. It's becoming a much more dynamic sector, and it's really being driven by, what consumers are demanding now.
Okay.
And what's fascinating, I think, is that consumers are looking for way more than just flavor these days.
That feels like a really crucial pivot.
It is.
And I guess that leads us right into maybe the most transformative driver, which our sources say is this growing demand for functional benefits.
Absolutely key. The sources really hammer this home. Consumers, and especially millennials and Gen Z, they're actively looking for gums that offer something more.
Something extra.
Exactly. We're talking teeth whitening, maybe an energy boost, digestive help, even things like nicotine cessation gums.
Yeah, okay. So specific examples.
Yeah, definitely. You're seeing gums being explicitly formulated with xylitol, for instance.
Okay, why xylitol?
Well, it's chosen specifically because research shows it helps reduce dental plaque.
Ah, makes sense.
Or you might find gums infused with caffeine or, say, B vitamins, basically acting as these little on-the-go energy supplements.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting for me. This functional angle.
Huh?
It's not just like a new feature, is it? It sounds like it's fundamentally redefining gum.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's helping chewing gum cross over,
Hmm.
into the wellness space, into
So
nutraceuticals.
it's competing differently now.
Totally. It means it's getting shelf space in places you maybe wouldn't have seen it dominate before. Pharmacies, health stores, definitely online wellness platforms.
Right, so it's not just hanging by the till in the supermarket anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's less of an impulse candy item and more like a proactive health choice for some people, silently competing with vitamins or other supplements.
That's a big shift.
Huge. But while gum is making this leap into wellness, it definitely hasn't forgotten its roots, capturing young imaginations.
Ah, the fun side.
Yeah, that youth-centric marketing is still absolutely vital, especially for bubble gum, obviously, and all those flavored types. Brands are, well, they're incredibly smart about reaching younger people.
So it's not just about the ingredients, well, it's also about how they're talking about it, isn't it? The whole communication strategy.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm curious, like, what kind of tactics are we seeing there?
All sorts. Brands are leveraging social media trends for sure, big influencer campaigns, tying into pop culture moments.
Wherever the kids are hanging out online.
Pretty much. It's all designed to engage, children, teens, young adults, where they already spend their time. Think about limited edition flavors, maybe inspired by gaming,
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
or music icons, or even just viral internet trends. Something buzzy.
Yeah, that takes me back. Those crazy colored bubble gums. It's amazing how that sense of fun is now like a core strategic thing.
It really is.
I've also seen those really colorful bubble gums
Yeah.
with collectible packaging. Or sometimes they have QR codes for interactive stuff. That seems aimed right at digitally native kids.
Definitely. And don't discount nostalgia either. Some campaigns are cleverly targeting young adults by bringing back, say, 90s flavors or vintage branding.
Ooh, smart. Hitting that retro vibe.
Yeah, it's a clever way to kind of bridge generations, really.
So this evolution,
Yeah.
it's happening in the product with the functional stuff and how it's marketed. Is it also changing where we find gum?
Absolutely. That's another big piece. It's expanding its footprint way beyond just the traditional checkout line.
Okay, broader retail presence. Does that mean the impulse buy at the counter is, like, less important now?
Not entirely. Impulse buying, right there at the checkout, convenience stores, that's still a major chunk of revenue, definitely.
Yeah.
But what's really fascinating, especially in developing regions, think India, Indonesia, Brazil, is how the growth of modern retail, supermarkets, and also e-commerce
Right.
is actually introducing branded gum to people who maybe didn't buy it before, first-time users.
Ah, interesting. So it's growing the user base.
Exactly. And that's contributing to a pretty significant increase in per capita consumption in those countries. It's genuinely expanding the market in new geographies.
That sounds like a huge opportunity. But,
Wow.
okay, gum is getting all sophisticated, functional, reaching new places. It can't all be smooth sailing. There must be some, well, sticky challenges.
Yeah, definitely some sticky points. Good pun again.
What are the big headwinds it's facing?
Well, first up, and it's a big one, health and sugar concerns.
Right.
Those traditional sugar-packed gums, their appeal is definitely dampening.
Yeah, I imagine just general awareness about sugar and health. Obesity, diabetes, cavities. That's got to be hitting hard.
Precisely. That awareness is just intensifying. So demand is shifting pretty dramatically, actually, towards sugar-free options, natural alternatives, too.
But that can't be easy for the companies, right? Just swapping out sugar.
No, it's tricky. Reformulating products often means higher manufacturing costs. And then there are regulatory hurdles, especially somewhere like the EU, where the labeling laws are really strict. It's not a simple switch.
Okay, so health is one challenge. What else? You mentioned impulse buys earlier.
Yeah.
Is that related?
Yeah, the decline in impulse purchases is another major headwind. Think about how we shop now.
Self-checkouts everywhere.
Exactly. Self-checkout, contactless payments, ordering groceries online.
Yeah, you just click reorder on your usual stuff.
Right. All these habits have really cut down on those spontaneous gum purchases. Historically, gum thrived on being right there. High visibility, point of sale.
Prime real estate.
Totally. But now, with fewer people lingering at the till or buying online beforehand, brands have to invest way more in things like digital ads, strategic partnerships, just to get noticed again.
And the pandemic probably didn't help impulse buys either.
No, it really accelerated that shift away from On-the-go, unplanned consumption changed habits quite fundamentally for a while there.
Okay, health concerns, changing shopping habits. What's the third big one?
The environment. You can't ignore the environmental impact of, well, chewing gum itself, especially the stuff we just spit out.
Ah, the gum base.
Yeah, this raises a really important question because most synthetic gum bases are made from polymers that, well, they aren't biodegradable.
Right, like plastic, basically.
Essentially, and you're seeing municipalities getting tougher on gum litter, plus concerns about non-recyclable packaging.
So companies ignore this at their peril.
Absolutely. They risk alienating a growing number of environmentally conscious consumers, particularly in places like Europe or Japan, where sustainability labels and certifications really influence buying choices. It's not just PR, it's becoming like a license to operate issue in some markets.
Wow, okay, those are some serious challenges. Health, shopping habits, environment. For an industry built on simple pleasure and impulse, how are companies navigating this? Are they just surviving or actually innovating?
Oh, they're definitely innovating. They're responding by trying to align with these big trends.
So how does that look?
Well, the sugar-free and clean label movement is huge. You've got brands like PUR, Glee Gum, Simply Gum. They're really pioneering things like plastic-free gum.
Plastic-free, no.
Using natural bases like chicle from tree sap. They're also pushing vegan options, naturally flavored products.
Okay, appealing to that specific market.
Yeah, using ingredients like stevia for sweetness, mint oil for flavor. It really clicks with premium organic shoppers, health-focused demographics.
And the packaging, too, presumably.
Definitely. You see innovations there like recyclable cardboard boxes or even biodegradable wrappers. It all reinforces that sustainability message. It has to be a whole package deal, literally.
So ingredients and packaging are evolving. What else? Our sources mentioned innovation in texture and format, too.
Yeah, that's another key area. Brands are experimenting more with the sensory experience, trying to attract consumers looking for something new, something different.
Like what?
Think liquid-filled gums, maybe? Or gums with different layers? Or soft chew textures?
Interesting.
And some are even blurring the lines with candy, offering these hybrid products, gum combined with a lozenge, maybe, or a mint.
Oh, like those ones that give you a big menthol burst.
Exactly like those. Or ones with dual flavor layers. That kind of novelty is proving really popular, especially with teens and young adults. They want a more stimulating chew, maybe, than just a standard stick.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier that gum is traditionally quite a low-margin product. How are they addressing that?
Well, this is where personalized and niche targeting comes in. It's actually carving out completely new revenue streams, which is quite a big shift.
How so?
We're seeing these purpose-built gums emerge. Gums designed specifically for, say, energy, or sleep, or digestion, immune support.
Wow, really specific.
Yeah. And these are gaining real traction in online wellness communities, supplement marketplaces. It's a different channel, a different consumer.
And e-commerce must help with that niche targeting.
Hugely. E-commerce and better data analytics allow brands to experiment much more easily. Limited edition flavors just for online, regional variants, interactive packaging, all tailored to very specific groups.
Fostering loyalty that way.
Exactly. And crucially, it allows for premium pricing. In a market that's often seen as a commodity, being able to charge more for these specialized gums makes a massive difference to the bottom line, profitability.
That is a fascinating strategic pivot. So when we look at the companies actually doing all this, the competitive landscape, it's a mix, right? The old guard and some new players.
Yeah, exactly. You've still got the legacy giants, companies like Mars with Wrigley, obviously, Mondelez with Trident, Perfetti Venmel, they do Center Fresh. Lotta is huge, too.
They dominate distribution innovation budgets.
For sure. They have the scale. But alongside them, you're seeing these really interesting regional players pop up. Someone like Peppersmith in the UK or Ferndale in Australia, ZED Candy in Ireland.
And what makes them stand out?
They often offer really unique value propositions, maybe focusing heavily on sustainability or really innovative flavors. They're carving out their own space.
So it's a dynamic scene overall.
Absolutely. Lots of strategic partnerships happening, acquisitions, companies expanding geographically. Everyone's trying to refine their product mix to meet these shifting demands around health, the environment, lifestyle. It's very active.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What does this all mean? Where does this deep dive leave us?
Well, I think it clearly shows the chewing gum market is, it's anything but static.
Definitely not. It's really transformed from just being a simple treat.
Yeah, into something much more sophisticated, functional. sustainable, or at least trying to be, and incredibly targeted in its marketing and product development.
So the next time you reach for a stick of gum at the checkout, or maybe order some special kind online,
Mm-hmm.
you might just be holding this tiny testament to these huge, complex market forces. And all the surprising innovation that, honestly, most of us probably never even considered was there.
Well said. Yeah, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
About what?
Well, what other everyday products, things that seem so simple, so unchanging, what else might be undergoing equally profound yet kind of unseen transformations right under our noses?